Back when I was little, I played in the 5 and under soccer league. I loved it, chasing the ball, scoring goals, and eating orange slices afterwards. A child's paradise. At the end of the game, we would always shake the opposing team's hands, and I never understood why. In one instance, after losing a particularly crushing game, I was upset, so I didn't want to shake the opponent's hand. My coach was not willing to accept this behavior, and I was made to begrudgingly shake their hands. Conceptually, it made no sense to me at the time, but what I was getting was a lesson in good sportsmanship. The game was never about winning or losing the whole time. The point of the game was to play the game and have fun during it. We shake hands because the opposing team aren't my opponents. They're just friends who are playing for the other team. Likewise, my teammates are my friends trying to help us win. With both sides likely being human, there are surely going to be mistakes. The only thing I can control is how I react to it. I think this sentiment has been lost in a generation, not in sports but rather in video games. It's extremely common to find people across many genres of games screaming at their opponents and teammates alike because they are losing in a competitive match. Sometimes people seem so focused on doing well during the game that they forget the base mission statement. Games are supposed to be fun. Now, I surely can't speak for everyone, but my definition of fun is undoubtedly not screaming my head off at a screen or angrily explaining to my teammate why they are so horrible at the game. I'm not trying to come off as a saint. I've certainly raged before, and it's not unlikely I will get frustrated again. However, this allows me to speak from a place of experience. I've learned to try to remind myself to take a step back to look at the larger picture. The only way I can fail is if I'm not having fun, and if I want to improve, shilling off responsibility will only slow me down. These concepts aren't new, and I'm definitely not breaking any untouched ground here. However, I think this message hasn't been very well adopted by the gaming community as a whole, specifically in competitive games. Part of the problem is that we never really went through the little league in video games, meaning we never had that coach there to force us to shake hands when we were upset. Likewise, with video games being faceless, it's easy to dissociate the player with the human behind the screen, allowing people to feel justified in launching a verbal attack on the other. This is exacerbated by the strong desire these games create to win. Losing hurts. It feels like a step backward and really cuts down one's pride. This leads to a very prevalent topic: what to do after a loss. The path I see most people take after a loss is to immediately go into the explanation of all the reasons the loss was not their fault. Maybe their teammate took a kill, or the other team was using overpowered characters. Whatever the excuse be, it's just that, an excuse. And as the famous cliche goes, excuses are like armpits. Everyone's got one and most of them stink. The alternative, that I find much less often, is the mindset I observe in those who quickly improve or already excel in the game. Players with this pattern of thinking take personal responsibility for the outcome of the game. The first question with these players after a loss is, what could I have done to prevent that loss? This is an entire flip in mentality, from a victim to a champion. This mindset is so powerful because there is no way to control external conditions going into a game. I can only do my best, and sometimes that's not going to be good enough. But to repeatedly get mad at external conditions is like going out into the rain and being mad I got wet. Nature isn't going to get out of my way, so it's my job to buy an umbrella. Along with this, failure to recognize my own mistakes would be stealing a meaningful lesson from myself. It's like cheating on a workout. The only person I'm cheating is myself. The only difference in this case is I'm cheating myself out on mental progression rather than physical. Adopting this mindset takes time, and just like with any other skill, it requires patience and discipline to integrate into your gaming. Try to establish triggers to develop a system for thinking more positively after a game. Maybe something as simple as a sticky note saying, what can I learn from that game? Or how could I have won that game? Then read it after every loss. In my experience, looking at a loss as a learning experience not only helps me to improve faster, but also takes out some of the sting of the loss. I think this mainly draws from the fact that a loss feels like your time is wasted. But if the game was a learning experience, then it wasn't a loss at all. I hope you guys can apply this mindset into your games. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed.